everything has changed. There is a new term that people have started using, and it's called a new normal. Now, what is this new normal? The new normal is you keep aside whatever you have done, whatever you have learned before, and adjust to the new situation. And this is where a rejuvenation is required. And the Department of Commerce has started this series of sessions where today we have the second session in this regard. Now, when I talk of new normal, we talk of what can we do as people in the academic field, and what can our students do to adjust to the new normal. One important aspect of commerce education, or where our students want to work ahead, is the field of banking. So far we have seen lot of traditional systems that have gone into banking, and possibly you are aware that banking systems aren't new. They are as old, or I think as far as my information goes, right from the 11th century, there has been a formal organization of some kind that was called a bank, which did some kind of monetary transactions, and where usually, since it was a family business, the training was given to you at home. Now, eventually, since 17th century onwards, the banks have taken a formal structure, and a formal structure needs a formal education. And this is where our students of commerce have contributed immensely in last several decades and centuries. So, keeping forward, what we would like to know is how this COVID situation, the pandemic situation, has had an impact on this banking sector, and how this impact now changes what our students should learn. Should they learn certain new skills? We all know everything is digital, so we all are using banking, operating banks essentially using our mobiles, our laptops. So if that is the new normal, at the other side, what do I as a student should do, should adopt to get used to these systems? So without taking further any more time, I welcome all of you, my dear colleagues, Dr. Shamla, Dr. Amrita, Dr. Harshida. I welcome all of you students who have joined us today for this webinar. And most importantly, our guest of today, Professor SUBBARAO, who is a very prominent banker, I would like to say. And without further ado, I'll hand over the session back to Amrita so she can introduce our esteemed guest and get on with the session. Welcome to this second Sanjivayati.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Without any delay, Dr. Amrita, would like to introduce our guest for today. I'm really privileged to introduce Sir to this forum, to all the students. Dr. G.V. Subbarao, Sir. He is a MBA, CAIIB, PG Diploma, IRPM, and DCB. He is a very eminent professor of finance and banking. He has got 24 years of teaching experience in banking and finance subjects, 17 years for MBA in top management schools in Pune, and over 7 years as senior faculty in Bank of Baroda. Out of his experience, he has given his valuable 31 years of service in banking operations with meritorious and acclaimed service, including over 7 years as senior faculty in Bank of Baroda. 15 years of his online teaching experience is really a great achievement, and he is also as a dissertation guide for MBA BBA programs of Wales University London and London Metropolitan University London and EDEXL. He has been an examiner, paper evaluator for the various subjects related to finance at esteemed organizations like Sri Balaji Society, Symbiosis. He has also contributed as a textbook reviewer for the reputed publishers like Pearson and Tata McGraw-Hill. It is very good to share with all of you with pride that Sir has bagged excellent feedback from all the students consistently over the past 17 years. As we have already shared, the articles have also and CAs must add specialized courses and how to turn an internship into a full-time offer. To Sir's credit, there are various subjects. To mention a few are international banking, international trade finance, foreign exchange, along with corporate finance, investment analysis for London Metropolitan University on an online program. Sir has won top ranking Utkarsh Awards for excellence in his performance, have handled international finance for leading corporates like Tata Honeywell, Thermax, etc. Sir is currently a retired officer from Bank of Baroda, which he was heading as Chief of Planning and Development, IT Implementation for Maharashtra and Goa Zone of Bank of Baroda. He was also in charge of Housing Finance Company for North Maharashtra. Along with, he has also taken charge for training system as a senior faculty and in-house corporate trainer. Currently, Sir is a visiting faculty in various business schools, and we are really looking forward to have an enlightening session for you with you, Sir. We welcome you on behalf of Department of Commerce, Savitribai Phule University, and our entire team. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Amrita. Am I loud and clear?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. We can hear you.
Okay. Uh, Good morning, my dear students and all the faculty and Dr. S. Patil, who gave a very, very relevant intro to today's session. And Amrita has taken so much time. There was no need to tell so much about me. Anyway, it's really, I indeed consider this a great privilege to address the students of one of the most prestigious Savitribai Phule Pune University. I know about its brand value, not only in abroad, also the engineer. Anyway, thanks so much, Amrita, for such nice introduction, but you allowed me too much. Thanks anyway. All right. Let me see if I would really be happy if this session would help my students to some extent.
Yes.
All right. Before I open my PPT slides, actually, I don't want to rely on PPT slides. All along, in the last 20 years, though for the convenience of the students, I use PPT slides. I never would like to deliver a lecture as such. I always would like to have a dialogue so that the students are engaged. I would like to deliver a dialogue, interact with them. Whatever PPT slides I have prepared, believe me, that is for you to go through later on. As you have seen, I have not used even bullet points. If I imagine I have used only bullet points, how to expand that? What exactly is behind that bullet point becomes difficult. So I have thrown all the basic rules of preparing PPT slides to winds, and I have prepared in continuous sentence. Actually, that is not the way one should prepare PPT slides in its true sense. But this, keeping in view your need, I have prepared this. Secondly, I want to tell you, whatever the PPT slides show, most of them, are available elsewhere. It is not something unique, but I have taken a lot of pains and try to make it as precise, as concise as possible, so that you will not go on using, searching Google. The moment you press Google, you get, hundreds of thousands of websites and going there, and you will lose your patience. So what I have done, I have spent considerable time in going through all these things and presented there, what are the various courses that you could pursue, what are the skills that is expected, particularly for a banker. So I will be focusing more on banking to start with. The other slides, it's only for your information. Still, depending upon the time availability, we will browse through so that, if at all you want to ask any questions. Last 10 minutes, Dr. Amrita has told me, and I'm so happy, Doctor. I've been just as a as a sorry to bring personal issue, Amrita. I'm extremely happy because you have taken this initiative to give me this opportunity. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's open the slides. Can you now? Should I go for sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me see whether I will be able to open this PPT. Otherwise, maybe from your end, you
Not an
open.
issue. Not an issue, sir. You can take
Uh,
your time. You can
yeah,
take it.
I have opened. Can somebody confirm? Are you able to see this?
Not yet, sir. It will take maybe a few seconds. First, you'll have to, sir, use share content as an option.
Yeah, I
And
did that.
yeah, and
Uh,
then if your entire screen is having a red border, it confirms that you're sharing your screen. So maybe you can reshare your screen once again, sir. Yes, sir, we are able to see the screen.
oh,
You
that's
can,
fantastic.
yes,
Okay.
sir. You can just make it slideshow so
Okay.
that, yes, yes, sir, it is visible. Perfect.
Good. Thanks so much, Samrita. Thank you. Whatever I've already told, let's not waste our time. So I've just told you most of the things which I've compiled from various blogs and websites. And at the end of this presentation, I've also given you the references. If at all you want to go back and examine more. Say, for example, I told you FRM is one of the uh, uh, most in demand qualification, particularly from bankers' point of view, financial risk manager or financial engineering. These two topics I recently taught for Symbiosis also. So suppose you want to know more about that, I have given you the link at the end. So that is why we will not go into final points, nitty-gritties of what is the fees and what are the contents, etc. But ultimately, why it is essential, why you should acquire those courses. I'm in no way undermining the value of MCOM, which you have done from Pune University. It is indeed a brand value. I see if you go back to the history of placements, I know that the fantastic placements have been taking place. But this is, let's say now you get, I'm sorry, let's say you get placed somewhere. Let's say the starting point salary is 6 lakhs. Why can't you make it 24 lakhs? But listen, now,
Right.
again, I'm in no way suggesting, about you must go more and more. Is an option. Why can't you grab? Or maybe you have taken loan, you have to take care of your family. So if you want to increase your earnings, if you want to have better placements in some of the global MNCs, or as a banker, I'm telling the investment banking. To tell you frankly, I'm going to show you later on. I know some of my students were earning 25 lakhs. I'm not exaggerating. 25 lakhs CTC. So now that's why I want to motivate you. I want to give you just a glimpse of what are the other courses available along with your MCOM. Not only even if you're placed, even when you join an organization, there also without spending much time, without spending much money, how you can acquire these courses. Some of them are certificate courses, some of them are diploma courses. And in fact, even now, for example, I was mentioning financial engineering. Now, some international bodies, particularly from US and UK, they are offering degrees in financial engineering and financial risk management. So we will go through the slides. We will not read the slides. We will simply browse through the slides so that whatever that is essential from that slide, I will be you that whatever I observed in bank presently, Dr. Patil Madam was telling, now there has been tremendous change in the banking. If you compare to traditional banking, there has been a tremendous change, and which calls for multi skills, different type of skills. So I would focus a little bit on banking to start with, then we will go ahead with others. This is only an introductory slide. I am not going to talk anything on that. But anyway, I've just written there. I hope you have browsed through all my articles published. I write articles in the expert advice in Times of India. There I have written a couple of articles, as Dr. Amrita has told you. I don't want to repeat that. Please go through. That will give you a lot of relevant information. And believe me, this is done copy banker and as a academician. That's why I want to emphasize on that. Kindly spare some time going through the articles, because today within an hour maybe I may not be able to tell all that I wanted to convey. Okay.
Yes.
In between, if some students say yes, okay, I would like to hear your voice and interaction in between. I told you I don't want to deliver a lecture as such. I want to have a dialogue with each one of you. You can stop me at any point of time. You can ask me anything apart from the specific questions, which I will be replying at the end. Okay.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah. Now this gives you a brief idea of what all my presentation contains. Now, to start with, I've started with banking, being a banker. What are the opportunities? Now, one, PO, I don't know, I mean, if you're aware of that. Even yesterday, there I've seen an advertisement from State Bank of India, probationary officer. Then once you become probationary officer, particularly in a bank like State Bank of India, if you join a bank, you need not have any stress, there will not be any tension, because you are not going to any 2 years. They will train you in every department, right from foreign exchange, corporate finance, rural banking, housing finance, everything. So I want to encourage you to try. It doesn't matter. Okay. There is a saying, if you aim at the sky, you will be at least on a tree. I repeat, if you aim at the sky, you will at least be on a tree. Doesn't matter. In the first attempt, you may not be so successful, because see, if there are 1,000 vacancies, there will be 1 lakh applications. Okay, and I have been associated with the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, and also Institute of Banking Personnel Selection, and I am open. Amrita knows me. I am not doing all these things for sake of money. And if you see my Facebook, I have openly said, any student who is really want to make a good career, wants to have any clarification, they can contact me Monday to Friday between 7 and 8. So I am open. So if at all you want some guidance, I am here freely. Don't think that I don't expect anything from you. The only satisfaction that I derive, some of my students are CEOs, CFOs, world over. So when they talk to me, I get tremendous amount of satisfaction. So I'm sorry if I'm talking something too personal. This is just to give you a free advice through email, or you can even talk to me. So if at all you want to have some basic information, here I will not be able to tell you. You can talk to me, or all the questions you can collect from your students. You can send me mail. Okay, I'm open for that. So now you may not be knowing what is probationary officer, how we have to prepare for that. What are the institutions which guide you? Maybe they will charge a couple of thousands. It's worth. Now I'm going to show you later on. For example, if you become even a grade B officer in Reserve Bank of India, your total emoluments will be 8 lakhs. It's not a question of money alone. Look at the prestige. Oh, you are working. Some of my students are in RBI. From Symbiosis, the students who made yes, in RBI. Perquisite call, the free house, and you can travel by flight, and even maid allowance. Something funny. If you take a maid, you will get maid allowance also. That's the type of as bankers, they are with all their tensions, anxieties, the risk-taking capabilities, they are very well paid. So to start with, I want you to take up. I think I will give you the details later on. Maybe next month some examination is coming on. I don't know whether the registration date is over. I will tell you all the details. Please apply for probation officer. There you can, within that, you can become either retail banking, merchant banking. I think in you being a commerce student, you must be aware of, raising capital in through public IPO. You would have heard about IPO, initial public offering. Without merchant banking, no MNC, no company can raise resources. So merchant banker, then corporate banking, investment banking. I told you, investment banking covers wealth management. Maybe maybe you will be advisor to let's say Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan. As you know, a personal wealth management. So investment banking has got a lot of scope. Then credit analyst. I don't know at this juncture. Recently, a bank called for application for credit analyst, and there they have written very clearly. You should have undergone a certificate course conducted by Moody's, or it may be Deloitte, or it may be Ernst & Young. These investment bankers, they are conducting some courses on credit analysis, financial modeling. So this credit analysis, straight away you are taken as MM2, that is middle management grade 2. And believe me, per month it will be in lakh. I'm not talking about total salary for a year. I'm telling minimum 1 lakh per month, my dear, a credit analyst. Then rural banking. Okay, all right. We'll go to details later on. Then comes insurance industry. Commerce students have a fantastic opportunity to join insurance industry. I don't know how many of you are asking some questions. I told my friend, has anybody heard the word about actuary? Any idea? Students, please reply. I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what it is? Who is that? Tell me your name. I'll be happy to remember.
So Salil Sharma.
Oh, good. Salil, tell me, what do you mean by actuary?
So I'm not very much well versed with it, but what I know is it's related to insurance sector. It's the course is actuarial science.
Very good.
Yeah, I heard about it when some of my friends started doing this course.
Very good, Salil. You have some basic idea about it. So I'm going to provide you, not in this 1 hour session. I will give you any detail you want later also, either through email or through phone. I've given a very brief information in one slide. Later on, we will see that. Believe me, Salil, the entire country of 130 million population, there are only 400 actuaries. Just 400 for entire country. So you can imagine the demand for that. These actuaries, they do forecasting, taking into macro and micro analysis and sector analysis. अगले 5 साल में क्या होने वाला? My God, कल क्या होने वाला हम नहीं बता सकते. How these fellows are going to tell what's going to happen in the next 5 years? What are the default probability? I don't know if somebody has started about value at risk, VAR, etc., where we calculate that default at risk, particularly for a banker, this default probability is very crucial and a significant concept. Similarly, for insurance industry, based on what type of events may happen. It may be natural event like floods, or it may be, like what recently happened in other countries, winds, whatever. So what type of events may, because of which people will lose something, and for that they have to take insurance policy. And if at all you have to sell the insurance policy, what should be your premium? Now they should not be, the case should not be such, the amount of premium is collected, let us say only 4 million, the claims comes to 10 million. then all insurance companies will be incurring losses. So the actuaries have that forecasting capabilities, forecasting the events, and based on that, they calculate premium. It's in very high demand profile. So, Salil, you said you heard about your friends. You also try and go through. I will give you the details. Okay. I will not talk much. I told you, on each, I will be able to talk only 1 or 2 minutes. Then mutual fund industry, then that's very simple one. You would have heard about it. AMC, asset management company. These fund managers, it may be from HDFC or ICICI or Citibank or Axis. They're earning in millions. I'm not telling thousands, huh? It's a fact, earning in millions, the asset manager. And what are the skills? Can you simply pass an examination and get placed as a fund manager? No. That's what I'm going to tell you. What type of skills are also essential. Then equity analysis, research. You can join as a research fellow also. Security analysis, portfolio management. You would have already been talked about this, been taught about this. Security analysis. Just incidentally, I have reviewed Prasanna Chandra's book, 5th edition, recently. Prasanna Chandra is a great person. I am director from Bangalore, ex-director, and I have reviewed his book, and we have brought in a lot of changes in the 5th edition. If you get an opportunity, please go through that book. Okay, then wealth management, I have told you. Financial planning. Now, every small household also, they should know about financial planning. Now, maybe some of you are, some of you would, I don't know, quite possibly would have borrowed from the bank. You would have taken education loan, and how this education loan has to plan, how it has to be repaid. Your parents may not be knowing. They must be paying maybe 10%, 8%, 12% interest. So how this financial planning, you being a commerce student, you being finance student, you should be capable of advising your neighbors, your friends, and your parents. So financial consulting is also one of the profile which you can offer. Corporate banking. It's every company, take it Bajaj or Infosys or Permax or Alpha Level, every company has got what is known as a treasury department. Treasury department means managing entire funds, raising of funds, deploying of funds. All these definitions you would have read. I'm not here to tell you the definitions and theory, but I'm telling you what exactly that C company websites, you will find there is always a CFO, there is always a treasury department. How the funds have to be managed, how forex has to be managed. I don't know whether you have. Can somebody tell me in between? I will be traveling. Do you have any topic? I'm sorry for my ignorance. Do you have any topic on foreign exchange management in commerce? Hello.
Yes. Any commerce student can reply.
I'm not in this
So
semester.
we are being taught about the Foreign Exchange Management Act in regulatory framework of commerce.
Okay, you know a little bit of that, on FERA, FEMA, etc. Fine. This is another field. Why, I don't know whether I have really time to tell. You would have heard Bharat Forge is the second largest forging company in the world, from Pune. Bharat Forge is the second largest forging company in the world. And CFO of Bharat Forge, whom I know, Balerao, you will go to Japan, bring maybe some 100 billion at the rate of 1%. Are you aware? In Japan, the rate of interest is less than 1%. You may go to UK, you may bring pound sterling at the rate of 3%. You will go to US, raise funds at the rate of 5%, 4%. So this forex, particularly where the funds can be raised at a very, very competitive. In India, particularly for corporates, we are charging anything above 14%. It is not retail, it is corporate. So whereas these people, I know that's perhaps one of the reasons why Bharat Forge can. I'm sorry to use that name because they are all my customers. I have handled all these big MNCs last couple of years. They're international finance. So you will go and bring that. You say hell with SUBBARAO, you charge me 14. Look, I have brought from Japan, I have raised the finance at 1%, he tells me. So now there are a lot of opportunities for Forex management. For this also, certificate courses are available, diploma courses are available. As I told you, there is one institute called Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, for which I have also been training students. There you can undergo, there are two qualifications, JAIB, Junior Associate of Indian Institute, where you can learn all this foreign exchange. Now, see, you may get job. I'm not talking about getting employed. As I've already stressed in the beginning, this is one of the most prestigious university. You will get job, but here we're not talking about getting job. We are not talking about getting placement. We are talking about how you can further improve your career prospects and improve your earnings, so that you can enjoy life, right? So corporate banking. FRM, I'm sorry, there is some, I don't know whether I should close the door. Okay, there was some background noise. I have provided in one of the slides, I told you, I'm not going to show all the slides. I'll just simply want to have dialogue with you. Slides are meant for the students to read. Slides are not meant to be read by the faculty. So I have given slides for your convenience. I'm not going to use that, but I'm only tell you elsewhere in this presentation, I've given you one slide on FRM, how important it is. One of the most complex, difficult exam to pass. But once you pass, straight away, it will be in million. Your CTC will be in million. Not thousands, not lakhs. And there are two institutions, Institute of Risk Management, IRM, and another one is GARP, Global Association of Risk Professionals. So if you don't think it will be costing in lakhs, no. Sometimes you can acquire this qualifications in less than 1 lakh rupees, but then don't go for all the certificate courses which you can manage within 5,000, 6,000 because it is cheap. No, look at the quality, look at the placement opportunities, look at the demand for the people who have those qualifications. So financial FRM itself is a qualification. So conducted by Institute of Risk Management. Instead of ARM, I suggest go for GARP. All the details are there. Okay, later on you can ask me if at all time permits. In between, Amrita will caution me, Amrita. Otherwise, these professors, particularly me, once I get an opportunity, I'll be talking for 24 hours. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. So let me talk something sensible and caution me about the time. All right, it is FRM, then derivatives markets. You have done SIPM, you have done capital markets, you have done money markets. Are you aware the total turnover of, let us say, entire stock market is, let us say, in just for example, let's say 4 billion. Whereas in derivatives, it is 16 billion. You find out it may be 4 or 6x of the total turnover which takes place in stock market compared to that of derivative market. So there is so much of demand for derivatives. Are you any one of your? I'm sorry, in between I told you, I just want to talk to you. Anybody amongst the students, option swaps.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then, yeah.
Yes.
You see, as far as this particular qualification is concerned, you can even undergo some certificate courses conducted by NSIM also, or even BSc, or an institute from UTI within India. most of the courses which I would like to recommend is, it is not just because, only foreign countries are better. In fact, in all my talks, I always tell, nobody can beat an Indian when it comes to analytical capability. You take the top 500 companies in the world, you always find an Indian there in the board, or it may be IMF, or it may be World Bank, anywhere. So I'm not undermining our capabilities, but some institutes, like, why we pay 1 crore to Stanford, or why we pay 2 crores to MIT or Cambridge. They have developed that quality brand. They're having taught 3 foreign universities. There is still, with all our reforms in the education field, there is a yawning gap in our education system. So I suggest to go for some programs, certificate programs conducted by these foreign universities, specifically from US and UK, so that you are opening your opportunities to the global as a whole, not only in India. There you are always paid, they pay very, very handsome salary. So I'm not unnecessarily tempting you, but it is from the point of view, the analytical capabilities that you acquire, the analysis, the research opportunity that they provide you. Look for some such courses of globally recognized institutions. Okay, but as far as derivative markets are concerned, I just now told you, you can even go for NSIM, BSc, UTI. They're equally good. Okay, it's a 103 months course, couple of thousands, not lakhs, my dear, just couple of thousands. So supposing tomorrow you go for interview, now you say I am specialized in derivative market. Oh, the panel will be happy. And in fact, many times I tell my students, you should know how to interview the interview panel. They'll laugh at me. What, professor? What nonsense you're talking about? We are going for interview. How can I interview that? No. If you have that skills, if you have that capabilities, you can bring them to the area of your interest, and see you'll be selected. So derivatives market is another area where you can acquire certificate courses. Financial engineering, most complex, most difficult topic. I don't know. Maybe some of the brightest students amongst you can take up this, and if you want, I can give you some detail about which organization offers this degree, should be accredited. I will give you details later on, but here it is. What do you mean by, I know about finance, I know about engineering. What is this financial engineering? So it is developing new products. What engineer does? He develops products, new products. So here in finance, now I want to share some of the experiences. I told you I'm not going to deliver a lecture. Very openly, I'm telling, very frankly, because I teach in a couple of institutes. In one of the institutes, JP Morgan visited that institute 5 years consecutively, continuously. Believe me, JP Morgan could not find even a single candidate, eligible candidate. On the other hand, Anna, I'm not tapping my back. Okay, fortunately, I was associated with that institute. JP Morgan, when they visited my institute, they took 7 students in one go. I don't mind mentioning the name also, it may not be proper. In Pune, in one institute, JP Morgan took 7 students in one go. Why? Because these students have been trained in such a way, using all these, models, financial models, and exotic models. There is already a model, and they have done further improvements to that model. And one of the students, because they were from JP Morgan, the technical officer, and one of the students mentioned, "Sir, there is some scope to improve your model." God, can you please? The interview, sir, I made some changes to your model, sir. JP Morgan model, Credit Suisse model. So financial engineering is another, because the finance has in the beginning introductory talk, Madam Patil has said, it is becoming more and more complex. And our NIM, I don't know whether you have heard about. Have you heard about interest spread and NIM in banking? In between, I'll be asking you some questions. I told you, NIM. Anybody? Interest rate? Okay, don't worry. Don't feel depressed. Don't feel disappointed if you do not immediately get that conceptual clarity, because maybe either you would not have been taught, or maybe you're not immediately getting that answer. Don't worry. Now, one of the most challenging problems, burning problems in the banking industry is, one is NIM, second one is toxic assets. I use some, not to impress upon you. These are some of the words, which are used globally. Tomorrow you should not say, I am a commerce student, I don't know, sir, I've never come across this word toxic asset. It is nothing but NPA. It is nothing but NPL, non-performing assets. Okay. Now, there are hardly one or two banks in entire India. I'm telling you openly. One of them I can openly mention, SDFC Bank, one of the best banks when it comes to quality. Their NIM, even there, it is not something like 10%, 50%, it may be 4%. A bank like ours, Bank of Baroda, 120 years, we never heard about loss. We have never made any loss. But then now we are not able to improve that NIM. We are not able to reduce that non-performing assets. Now, as a financial engineering student, you'll be able to come out with some better models. Like, for example, default probability model. I'm sorry, I used something new. Not to impress upon you. I'm not here to impress upon you. Please believe me. I want you to pick up all these, the concepts, the burning problems in the banking industry. If at all you want to join the banking industry, don't say if that's the case, banking is full of problems, sir. No, there you get fantastic opportunities. I told you, last time, one of the bank looking for a credit analyst, and they also wanted financial risk manager. Now you heard about CEO, heard about COO. Now every bank has got CRM, Chief Risk Manager, Chief Risk Officer. Imagine you become a CRO, earning in billions, not millions, particularly if you join foreign banks. So there is a lot of scope, but extremely difficult topic, subjects. In fact, I found it very difficult to teach also, this financial engineering. But if you at your age, it is the age to take challenges. It is the age to venture into the areas unknown for. So some of you, the brightest students, can go for finance. I've not even completed one slide, Amrita. You must caution me in between. Okay.
So we have scheduled a session for an hour, and if the students and everything was good, means we are trying to wind up the session by 12. But then no worries, with the students are interacting if they are taking it okay. So not an issue.
So that accordingly, I can manage time management, the most crucial factor, whether for students or for the management. Yes. Okay, that's why I asked you. Maybe then that means another 15 minutes I can go ahead. Or yes. I told I don't want to show all the slides. The slides are meant for reading by the student. I just want to show only other 2-3 slides only. Okay.
Yes.
Now I have explained what is financial engineering. IT, highly demanding profile, where you will be doing all macro, micro. You would have done ratio analysis. The ratio analysis which you do, I'm sorry, I'm not undermining the capability, particularly not Pune University. Sometimes you just get 1 page or 2 page balance sheet, and you do all this ratios and you just draw some conclusion. No. Believe me, I as a banker, I will show you next time, perhaps if at all I get an opportunity, my credit analysis runs to 72 pages, my dear. Credit analysis runs to 72 pages. I will show you the live analysis of some of the organizations which have taken this entry. So the type of analysis which you do, because there, I'm not blaming you. I'm neither blaming the education system. Exam oriented, they'll say, what do you mean by ratios? How many types of ratios are there? Please give an example. And what are the limitations? That's it. You don't go beyond that. But here, as a business analytics, you go beyond that, do macro, micro, sector, and thorough company analysis. So business analytics is another one. Okay. All right. Finally, I mentioned forensic auditor. Unfortunately, not only in banking industry, particularly now in online, when online banking has started, there are a lot of frauds. Now, forensic auditor is again another qualification which is in great demand, where you'll be doing fraud detection. Forensic, we are not talking about laboratory, somebody dead body you are analyzing how he died. No, here it refers to the different type of frauds, online frauds, banking frauds. So forensic auditor is again very rare. What I've mentioned here, they're all rare profiles, but then are in great demand. Okay, fine. Let me go for next slide. Skills, I'm not going to talk on this. Please read this. I normally tell them what corporate ask is whether he has the ask skills. What is ask? Attitude, skills, knowledge. So all the three are essential. So here, for example, computational skill. Now for most of the banking examination, what we expect is you must have diploma in computers. You would have done MCOM, maybe you're a brightest candidate, maybe 90%, but still you must have, I don't know how many of you have really acquired this. Any answer for this? How many of you are in some certificate course or diploma course in computers? Very essential. Okay. Now I have explained what are the skills, particularly for financial sector, how precise you should be. Okay. What type of ability to synthesize and summarize, because they will provide a big box file, a project analysis, project financing. Then you would have read maybe 20 pages. For your boss, you are preparing a note. These are all, my dear, these are all realities. When you join a corporate, you will be preparing your MCOM, but they'll ask you, chalo, aap commerce student, make note bana ke de do. What do you feel about this company? Should you go ahead or not? So you must have that ability to synthesize and summarize, conceptual skills, computational skills, excellent convincing. Everybody tells, everybody must have communication skills. I know about it. No, how we should convince, particularly as a wealth management, or when you go to and ask investor, mutual fund, the types, etc. But do you know how this performance has to be evaluated? There are 3 tools to evaluate mutual fund. I'm not going to talk on mutual fund now. There are 3 formulas. Jensen formula. I've heard about Jensen formula. So you should be able to acquire all the skills. Okay. Banking careers. Lastly, I mentioned here, you see, if you can see this, JAB, CIB from IIBF. Particularly, if you do this, any of this qualification, is not only getting job, and you will get 2 increments also. I hope you are aware of what do you mean by increment. Supposing your salary is, let us say, 40,000, and let's say every year you get 4,000 increment. The moment you pass this, you get 2 increments, lifelong. Imagine 2 increments means 4 plus 4, 8,000 plus DA, HRA. How much just by passing this? And fees is not even 10,000, my dear. Not even 10,000 fees to pass this examination. And you need not go anywhere, sitting at home. If you want, I will give you all the material. Okay. So try to understand what is this JIB, CIB, and then I told credit analyst from Moody's. When when we talk about some foreign bodies, certainly their fees will be little bit higher, maybe some 70,000, 80,000. Okay. Now I mentioned here there is one institution called IBPS, Institute of Banking Personal Selection. Particularly for PSU banks, you have to appear. And if you are, I know Pune University students have been very lucky. The big banks have visited and you get placement. But once you get placement, what you should do? I want to say. Given here, just a glimpse. For example, you want to go for RBA Grade B exam. What is the pattern? Very simple. Very simple. You know economics, you know social issues, you know English writing skill, and you are aware about finance. You will become as a MCOM student. Three papers, 4 hours, 30 minutes exam. And look at the salary, 67,000 rupees per month. And look at, I told you, monthly maid allowance, 3,000 rupees they will give if you employ a maid also. And beautiful house, car, and whatnot. I'm not tempting you, but then imagine working for Reserve Bank of India. All that you have to do is sitting at home and try for that in addition to your MCOM. I'm not asking you to join any course, spend additional time. And any assistance I can give you. So I given, even if you don't want to join RBI, other banks, all other PSU banks, IBPS, through IBPS, I've given an idea, just 20 minutes duration, all CQs. Some of this examination, but finally I want to tell you, maybe I will stop here. If whatever course you want to select, it should induce career change. I have received, to tell you very frankly, hello, I have received some telephone calls, and they were in tears. They said, "Sir, I'm unable to manage this. So much of stress, tension. I want to change my job." So how are you going to change your job? Without acquiring additional qualification, the qualification which are in great demand. So I have given you some ideas here. If at all you want to change, go for a course, see that induces some career change, see that provide core competence. See, all are MCOM, all are MBA, general, no, within that, what is your specialization? You must have some core competence. Okay, as I told you, equity analysis is my core competence. Derivative market is my core competence. Financial engineering, my core competence. So go for some specialization that enhances your knowledge, skills, and attitude, and that leads to your personal development also, and that promotes your career development. I think I will stop here. I am sorry. As I told you, see, for example, CFA. What is the CFA? Who conducts this? And look at the last sentence. You can be hired by some of the top global financial firms: Goldman, JP Morgan, Royal Bank, Morgan Stanley, Ernst & Young, with starting salary in lakhs per month. Okay, Amrita, I told you, all these things they have to read: ACCA, Chartered Accountant, Company Secretary, IFRS. Now almost 150 countries have adopted this IFRS. India, we are also going to adopt this IFRS system. Presently, our systems based on income tax department, but Government of India has already decided we are going to adopt this IFRS. So imagine you have a certificate in IFRS. Certainly you will be in a better position to get best placement. You say, "Can sir, I know diploma in IFRS." That is the emerging area. IFRS, then CMA, CPA. This again from America, as I told you. Then I've already talked about this GORP, FRM, then a certified financial planner, investment banking. Already told you what is the demand for that. I think if you read this, 26 lakhs. One of my students is getting 26 lakhs. Then actuary, please read this. Stockbroker, I have told. Now some foreign companies like Deloitte, they take, though you may say BPO jada salary no. For example, if it is US taxation system, like for example, they have a reverse mortgage system, their health system, pension system. So you can, nothing wrong joining BPO also, but look at the organization. Just now I mentioned with Deloitte. Supposing through BPO of Deloitte. Well, you are very well paid. Okay, I've also given some. Finally, I am a professor. So finally, you can go for MPhil. Now look at Amruta. Just a simple, ordinary girl. Today she is a doctorate, and she has joined such a prestigious institute, whom I know for last 20 years. So go for PhD. You will become vice principal also. Insurance consultant I already talked about. Look here, I've provided a lot of websites. Thanks for your patience hearing. I know I could not really convey all that I wanted within 1 hour. Sometimes, if we get that opportunity, we go beyond the topic. I hope you got some relevant information, and you are welcome to talk to me anytime. I'll give my contact number, email ID, but don't go on writing individual emails. Collect whatever all the problems, etc. Then you can write to me collectively, particularly through Amruta. Amruta, thanks so much, and I really am grateful that I got an opportunity to talk to the students of one of the most prestigious and unique university in Maharashtra.
So we are privileged to have a seasoned faculty like you who to share your experience of which is really valuable and which you have shared with the students in terms of what career opportunities we can have, what kind of maybe skill sets they are going to have. Definitely, we are going to have more interactive sessions with you, sir. I think I should open the session for a question answer session right now. So the students, you are free to ask the questions to sir. Be crisp in asking your questions. There are few questions already which has come to me. So before ask few questions have already come to me, sir. So I hope I can ask you the question, sir.
You go ahead, Amrita.
Sir, there are few
I will be
students.
frank enough. If I do not know, I will say I don't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there are a few questions. The first thing which question has come from a student is that how can we apply for an internship in financial sector wherein that could also serve as an entry to a better organizations for them?
Absolutely. In fact, in one of my article I written in Times of India, how to turn your internship to placement.
Yes.
This is one of the article. There are opportunities. You must have some networking. See, maybe your earlier, students from Pune University who are already now, for example, hundreds of my students are working in many banks, and other students who join that particular organization, they will contact through them. Number one. Number two, your placement cell also contacts, PSU banks, private banks, and every year thousands of students are taken for an internship in banking. Opportunities are plenty. The only thing is you have to put in your efforts, find out. Okay. The only thing is for PSU banks, it becomes a little bit difficult because these are all, procedure oriented, bureaucratic system, unfortunately. But then, particularly for private banks, when they visit, if you establish some network, it is easy to get internship. And as I already told you, some of the students, when they have performed excellently during their internship, the same candidate was called for regular placement. There are ample opportunities.
Yes. Sir, like you have mentioned, the second question is like you have mentioned that we can have various certificate courses. Now there are various organizations research which has come up like Udemy is there, Coursera is there, wherein the courses are quite at a economical rate, I would like to say. So would that be really a feather in the cap of the students, and would that be considered as really credible course what they have undergone?
Very nicely structured question, and very delicate question to answer. I cannot, though you have mentioned the names of few organizations,
Yes.
what I suggest is, that's why I told you, please see what is the value addition that particular course adds to your qualification. Now, I don't want to take names. That's the reason why I told some of the organizations globally recognized. I don't mean, say, for example, whatever you have mentioned, that they are worthless. Certainly, it is going to add to your profile, add to your CV. You can, when you go for an interview, certainly if there are some additional qualifications, that helps you. But whether they will really add to your career development once you join, if that is the case, you have to select the globally recognized, number one. Number two, within India, in fact, I can give you, but it's not proper for me to list all those things officially here. You can ask me, if at all you are selected a specific course, sir, which organization should I select for this? I'm open for that suggestion.
Okay, sir. So one more thing, like you have mentioned that there is a lot of scope for forecasting tools. So even during a few trainings in last few months, even I have heard about forecasting training softwares. So what kind of software training do you recommend to our students which they can have beforehand before applying to such job profiles?
Yeah. This the type of financial modeling which
Yes.
the companies expect, you will not be able to develop unless you have some basic software knowledge. So what we do generally in financial engineering, there are a couple of software and programming easily, it can be easily understood. It is not necessary you should attend some engineering college or you should go for class. There are, it can be self-learned. I can suggest those software programs, particularly right starting from Excel. Even in Excel, for example, if you talk about corporate valuation, there are 13 types of corporate valuation. Whereas in MCOM or MBA, we would have touched upon only two. So when you join an organization, if you want to really impress upon them, you can say, sir, I know all the 13 corporate valuation according to Damodaran. You would have heard about Damodaran. He's number one corporate valuer in the world. So I suggest this book also. I can suggest what are the software programs, because I told at this juncture I will not be able to tell that. If they are really serious, if they have specifically selected a course, I can suggest what type of program they should learn, which is easily available, freely available.
Yes, sir.
I can suggest.
Yes, sir. So there's one more question which mentions that can the students have a better probability to have an access to the job opportunities through their profiles of LinkedIn, or on the rather I would like to put it in this way, that can LinkedIn or any other platform would be a place wherein they can find good job profiles?
Yeah.
And what would you suggest on that? Like how should students make up their profile to grab the opportunities?
Yeah. In fact, it is very, very relevant. I congratulate whoever asked this question. In fact, in one of my articles in Types of India, I mentioned, don't go on posting all your beautiful photos in Instagram. Try to impress your skills, your competence through LinkedIn, through Facebook, doesn't matter. So in fact, I got a lot of calls from LinkedIn, being a professor. To tell you frankly, just 2 days ago, I got a call from one of the top universities in India, and they have seen my LinkedIn. So be visible, be prominent, post your photos. You will enjoy that. That gives you a momentary satisfaction. At the same time, what you have done in the last week, in the college, what you have done, show some of your, I'm not telling you big achievements, even a small achievement. You have helped somebody. You have done something good which your professor has appreciated. Post such thing, because LinkedIn is one of the best source to get to become visible to the corporate world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, because nowadays I have heard through many platforms that people also browse through your profiles, wherein
Yeah.
even Facebook has got a professional touch wherein people are having Facebook groups wherein they can hire, they can see your Facebook profile. So that's a very valid suggestion, sir.
Very much
So
true. Yeah, very much true,
definitely,
Amrita.
we should also be careful about our profiles before we apply for a company because they might have a background check. So one
Yeah.
more very important aspect, like some of our students are interested in research also. So what kind of suggestion or what kind of career prospect they may have in research, that also from the point of view of maybe any research related to bank or anything. Can you elaborate on that, sir?
Yeah. In fact, research has a place in every organization. To tell you in one sentence, research has a place in every organization. Supposing even if they want to come out with a small new product, a bank, I want to come out with a new service. For example, recently ICICI Bank came out with travel card. Last time when I visited London, I had our bank, Bank of Baroda, I could not get that. Whereas ICICI Bank has come out with foreign travel card. So now I know very well one of my students from one of the colleges did a thorough research about travel cards. So in every organization, in every bank, there is a ample opportunity, but then you must have that research skills. Unfortunately, what happens in our system, the dissertation report, the project report which you, I'm sorry, I'm not undermining because I have been examiner for a couple of universities. They write only 3 sentences: improve the quality, train the student. That the type of recommendation. No, if at all you research, you must do cost benefit analysis. You must do SWOT analysis. So if you have that research capabilities of critically analyzing, and in fact, I have written in, please go through that article appeared in Deccan Herald, blending theory with practice. There I have mentioned very clearly what type of research skill the students must acquire. I'm not say, okay, you have a project work and you have gone for internship, you have projected, that's okay, that's a normal course. But beyond that, over and above that, what type of research skill you must have. Once you prove that, you have tremendous opportunity for research in all the organization. But I'm not talking about a small organization because they can't afford. I'm talking about corporate world. I'm talking about corporate and banking world. You have tremendous opportunities for research also.
Yes, sir.
I can give further details because I told here I will be giving answer, brief answer.
Yes.
Elaborate answers I can provide, provided you specifically already selected an area. Just now I told you a travel card of ICICI Bank. Okay, now for example, they have come out with DSA, banking at doorsteps, banking at doorsteps. So now you want to, they want to come out with some services, new services. So the bank has already asked the students to do this in-depth survey in rural area. So you should be ready to go to rural area, conduct that research, and you will be paying assembly.
If there is any other student, because I have got all the questions on my group chat. So if there is any question the student would like to ask directly to sir, please feel free to ask. Is there any question from anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sibani.
Sir, you have mentioned opportunity called financial consulting.
Sibani, sorry to interrupt. Your voice is breaking. Can you type out the question and send it to Amrita so that she will be. Sometimes it becomes difficult to structure a question even.
Yes.
In fact, I will tell you, answering a question, हम आपको घूम के कुछ भी answer दे सकते हैं. But asking a question, it needs a lot of competence, how to structure, how to be focused. It becomes very difficult. इसलिए आप हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं. Don't worry, don't feel disappointed if you cannot frame your question properly. But what exactly you want to ask, you can just give me that keyword.
Yes, Shibani. Are you writing
Yes,
it
sir.
in the
Am I
chat?
audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes, you're audible, Shibani.
Go ahead, Sibani.
Sir, you have mentioned one career opportunity called financial consulting. I wanted to ask is if there is any specific certification course for this particular career opportunity.
Yes.
Financial consulting, right?
Yes. There are certain examination. For example, if you want to go for mutual fund field, there is Association of Mutual Funds of India, MP. Or supposing you want to go for within that consulting insurance policies also. Now banks have come out with a product called bank assurance. You have heard about it. There is no bank assurance product. So now for
Yes,
that you
sir,
have
I
to
have heard
pass
of.
a certificate examination conducted by IRDA. Have you heard about IRDA?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a regulatory body for insurance company. Similarly, for mutual fund. So there are specific certificate courses for consulting also. One of them I told you, certified financial planner. Certified financial planner. And I have already given the name of the organization also. If you want further details, what I suggest is, let there be one leader in your class, whatever class representative or CR, whatever you all of you, whatever doubts you could not ask me today, you send all those doubts to your CR, and you will consolidate, and through Dr. Amruta, let it come to me. I will detailed answer.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
This is so nice of you. So is there any question from any student? Any question? If it is,
Sir,
yes, Apurva, go ahead.
sir, in every 6 months, the professional bodies like ICSI and ICAI adds a new batch of students. So, is there any specific certificate courses which could add a competitive edge to a qualified company secretary or a chartered accountant?
Okay, good. You asked this. As far as CA is concerned, there are 3 stages of examinations. Okay, now to start with, I have already mentioned that the 3 stages, names also I given something like a CPT till you go for final one in the 3rd year. Even that entrance exam, which you call the CPT, that certainly adds value. You can say, sir, I am in the process of acquiring CA. You don't tell them I have a certificate. You tell them I am in the process of acquiring CA and I have passed CPT. Certainly that adds to your profile and CV. It has definitely, particularly if it is connected by ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants, and similarly for cost accountant, similarly for ICWA. As far as our country, India is concerned, all these 3 degrees are well recognized, and they are purely practical in the sense, I will give you an example. I'm sorry for elaborative answer. In CA, don't get frightened, huh? Don't get scary. In CA, the passing percent is 10%. 90% of the students fail. So you can imagine the rigorous exercise that you have to undergo, the amount of efforts that you have put in. Yes, it needs a lot of hard efforts, but then I recommend all these 3. As if at all you're looking for a better placement within India, all these three programs, even their different stages. I told you, for CA there are 3 stages. Even stage number 1 also has some value.
Yes, sir. Any other student wants to ask any question? Is there any other question, or shall we go ahead?
Yeah, I think I already exceeded the 20 minutes. So
So the
kind of
session is all
Amrita.
yours, and I'm glad that the students are also interested and they would like to know more from your knowledge, sir. But yes, we have a time constraint, so I think with ma'am's permission, Dr. Patil ma'am's permission, I can ask my colleague Harshada Raut ma'am to give a vote of thanks. Ma'am, are you there? Just hold on for a second.
Harshada, please carry on. Harshada,
Yes,
ma'am?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, all. So, actually, when we say MCOM, we know only the 2 aspects, that is either CA or banking. But today we understood n number of courses which our students can go through. so that they will enhance their skill set. So indeed, this was a Sanjivayati for our students, sir. Sanjivayati is rejuvenation. That simply means the action or process of giving new energy or vigor. And Dr. Subbarao sir's today's lecture was regarding the career prospects for commerce students, and it was indeed the light seen after the long dark tunnel of COVID-19, the unemployment and uncertainty because of this. Thank you, Dr. Subbarao sir, for this enlightenment. And our students will definitely follow your path and definitely go for those courses which you have suggested. Also, I take this opportunity to thank VC sir, Pro VC sir, and Dr. Tapkir sir for granting us the opportunity to arrange this series. I would like to pay gratitude to our HOD ma'am, Dr. Supriya Patil ma'am, for showing the belief in us to organize this program. I thank Dr. Shamla ma'am for her valuable guidance. I am contented with the efforts of our colleagues and students for making ourselves a suitable audience. And eventually, I really thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
I'm really gratitude to each one of you. I'm open for any guidance freely. As I told you, they can even talk to me any day between 7 and 8 over the phone. They can send me emails. I really congratulate the entire team. Fantastic arrangements without absolutely no problems in between either technical or any other thing, and very nicely conducted. I congratulate all of you for this great qualitative value adding initiation. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, ma'am, shall we close the session? Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'll definitely get back to you with all the queries students may be having, and we will be posting it in your email, sir.
Okay, most welcome.
Thank you, sir.